Did you know that 1 in 3 people who experience a mini stroke will later suffer a major stroke? However, 80% of strokes could be prevented if warning signs were recognized in time. Recognizing these early signals can literally give you a second chance at life. Every year, more than 240,000 Americans experience mini strokes without even realizing it. These silent warnings often go unnoticed until it's too late. But if you know what to look for, you can stop a disaster before it starts. Today, I'll share the 8 critical warning signs that neurologists say you absolutely must know, because recognizing them can mean the difference between life and death. This knowledge could be the single most important thing you learn this year. With strokes being the 5th leading cause of death in the United States, understanding these signals isn't just important, it's essential. In the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly what to watch for, when to act, and most importantly, how to potentially save your life or someone you love. Because when it comes to your brain, every second truly matters. These are not just medical observations, they're practical warning signs that anyone can recognize. Pay close attention, because understanding them isn't just useful, it's absolutely vital. Awareness is the first and most powerful step toward prevention. 1. Brief loss of consciousness. A sudden, brief loss of consciousness during a mini-stroke is known as a syncopal episode or transient global amnesia. It's a sudden shutdown of your brain's alert system, a momentary blackout that shouldn't be ignored. Unlike fainting caused by dehydration or low blood pressure, this type occurs when blood flow to the reticular activating system, the part of the brain that controls alertness, is interrupted. That momentary drop in blood flow can signal a much larger problem on the horizon. It may last only seconds but is often preceded by dizziness or followed by confusion. Some people describe it as a gray out rather than completely blacking out. If this happens even once, it's your brain's way of sounding an alarm. Even though brief, these episodes are a serious warning sign that requires immediate medical evaluation. Don't wait to see if it happens again, act immediately. 2. Tingling or pins and needles sensation. The medical term paresthesia describes the pins and needles feeling that may occur during a mini-stroke. It's your body's subtle way of saying something is very wrong with your circulation. Unlike temporary numbness from sleeping on your arm, this tingling is due to reduced blood flow to the somatosensory cortex. This brief disruption deprives the brain of oxygen, even if only for seconds. It often affects only one side of the body and can spread in a wave, from fingers upward or from feet toward the legs. This one-sided pattern is a key clue that the problem is neurological, not muscular. This kind of tingling doesn't improve with movement or changing position, and it may come with an abnormal sense of temperature in the affected area. If it persists or feels strange, seek medical help immediately. 3. Severe headaches. While headaches aren't the most common mini-stroke symptom, when they occur, they're often described as a thunderclap headache, a sudden, intense pain that peaks within seconds. It feels like an explosion inside your head, sharp, fast, and terrifying. During a mini-stroke, blood vessels in the brain undergo rapid pressure changes, which can trigger extreme pain known as a sentinel headache. This may be the brain's final warning before a larger event takes place. This pain may be accompanied by light sensitivity, photophobia, or sound sensitivity, phonophobia. The environment may suddenly feel overwhelming, making it impossible to focus. Unlike migraines or tension headaches, this pain often occurs alongside other neurological symptoms, such as dizziness or visual disturbances. That combination should never be dismissed as just a headache. 4. Temporary vision changes. Visual disturbances during a mini-stroke can take several forms. Your eyesight can be one of the first senses to reveal blood flow problems in the brain. One of the most common is amaurosis fugax, a temporary loss of vision in one eye described as a dark curtain descending over the visual field. It occurs when blood flow to the retina or visual cortex is briefly interrupted. If vision suddenly fades in one eye, treat it as a red alert. Other signs include double vision, diplopia, bright flashes, or partial vision loss in both eyes. These fleeting changes are not optical illusions, they're medical emergencies. These vision changes happen suddenly and usually resolve within minutes, but they are a clear warning that the brain is not getting enough blood. Even a short episode can be a preview of something far more serious. 5. Dizziness or loss of balance. Sudden dizziness during a mini-stroke differs from common vertigo or lightheadedness. This isn't the kind of dizziness that passes after sitting down, it's far more intense. When blood flow to the cerebellum or brainstem is affected, your entire sense of balance can be thrown into chaos, a condition doctors call acute vestibular syndrome. It can feel as though the ground is moving beneath you, even when you're still. You may feel as if everything is spinning out of control or walk unsteadily, as if intoxicated. This sudden loss of balance greatly increases the risk of falls, especially in older adults. That fall could be your body's final warning before a major stroke strikes. Unlike positional vertigo, this dizziness doesn't depend on movement or improve by sitting still. It can come with nausea or vomiting, but what makes it distinctive is its sudden onset and intensity. When balance vanishes without reason, don't take chances, get help immediately. 6. Sudden weakness or numbness. One of the most recognizable signs of a mini-stroke is sudden weakness or numbness, typically on one side of the body. It's one of the clearest indicators that your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. Doctors call this hemiparesis, partial weakness, or hemiplegia, complete paralysis. It happens when blood flow to the motor cortex is temporarily interrupted. That short disruption can permanently damage brain cells if ignored. Your face, arm, or leg may feel heavy or unresponsive, as if it fell asleep for no reason. A simple test: smile in the mirror. If one side of your mouth droops, it's a warning sign. That tiny asymmetry could save your life if you act quickly. You can also raise both arms. If one drifts down or feels weaker, seek medical help immediately. Never assume it's fatigue, even a few minutes can make the difference. This weakness always affects one side of the body, distinguishing it from general fatigue or tiredness. Even if symptoms disappear quickly, they are a critical warning of a possible future stroke. Don't wait for the next time could be irreversible. 7. Sudden confusion. Sudden confusion during a mini-stroke feels like an unexpected mental fog. It's not the same as occasional forgetfulness. It's as if your brain suddenly stops cooperating with your thoughts. The medical term is acute confusional state or delirium, caused by a temporary blockage of blood flow to vital brain areas. This brief shutdown can disrupt everything from memory to speech. During these episodes, the frontal and temporal lobes, responsible for processing information and decision-making, lose oxygen. You may feel as if you've woken up somewhere unfamiliar, even when you're at home. It's a terrifying sign that your mind is momentarily losing its footing. Simple tasks like making coffee or dialing a number can become inexplicably hard. You might struggle to remember recent events, recognize familiar faces, or follow simple instructions. That sudden disorientation is not normal and should never be ignored. Unlike dementia, this confusion appears suddenly, not gradually. If it happens abruptly and affects your ability to think or orient yourself, seek medical help immediately. It's your brain's SOS, listen before it's too late. 8. Difficulty speaking or slurred speech. When blood flow to the areas of the brain responsible for language is disrupted, speech difficulties are often the first warning sign of a mini-stroke. Your words can vanish even though your mind is racing to find them. Doctors call this condition aphasia, which affects the ability to speak, understand, read, or write. The brain's language centers, mainly Broca's and Wernicke's areas, need a constant blood supply to function. When that supply is cut off, communication itself begins to break down. During a mini-stroke, these regions temporarily lose oxygen, making it hard to communicate. You may know exactly what you want to say, but the words don't come out correctly. It's like your tongue has turned heavy or uncoordinated. It's one of the most frightening symptoms because it strikes without warning. Some describe it as sounding like they have a mouth full of marbles. You might also have trouble understanding what others are saying. Even though you can hear them clearly, the words may sound jumbled or meaningless. If your speech suddenly changes, call emergency services immediately. The key difference is that aphasia from a mini-stroke appears suddenly, unlike the gradual speech changes seen in diseases such as Parkinson's. Even if the symptoms last only a few minutes, they require immediate medical attention. Every second you wait, more brain cells are at risk. Final message. Mini strokes are medical emergencies that demand immediate attention. Any of the 8 warning signs mentioned above should be treated as a reason to go to the hospital right away. Don't second-guess yourself, getting checked could save your life. Do not wait for the symptoms to fade on their own. Every minute counts when it comes to preventing a major stroke. Act fast, because your future depends on what you do in those first few moments.